If you're a leader, you totally get this feeling, trying to navigate your team through what feels like a constant storm of uncertainty. But what's actually guiding your decisions when the pressure is really on? Today, we're not just talking about some generic guide. We're talking about how you can build your very own personal compass to find your true north.
So let's just get right to the heart of it, right? Imagine you're facing a really tough call. You're being pulled in a dozen different directions by stakeholders, by deadlines, by all the data. How do you possibly cut through all that noise and make a choice that you can genuinely stand by? What's your anchor when everything is trying to push you off course? Well, the answer isn't in some manual or a spreadsheet. It's actually an internal tool, a personal compass that you have to build and calibrate for yourself. So let's dive into what that looks like, and honestly, why it's more critical right now than it's ever been.
Okay, but before we can even think about building this compass, we really have to understand why so many leaders feel, well, lost in the first place. The problem isn't a lack of data or strategy. It's something way more corrosive. It's this growing sense of cynicism. This leads to a state that some people call values cynicism. And look, this isn't just about feeling a little jaded. No, it's this profound disconnect where the constant, relentless pressure of the modern world just severs the link to what you actually believe in. You know that feeling when the mission statement on the wall feels completely detached from the reality of your day-to-day decisions? Yeah, that's it. And this cynicism, it's not just some internal struggle. It actually bleeds into the entire organization. When a leader's compass is lost, decisions become reactive instead of principled. The culture gets totally disconnected, and ultimately, the leader's own well-being suffers, making it pretty much impossible to navigate the very challenges they were hired to solve. So, if cynicism is the storm, what's the lighthouse? Well, the solution is all about reconnecting with your values, not as these abstract, fuzzy ideals, but as a real, tangible, powerful guiding force that can cut right through the fog. And this, right here, is the crucial shift in thinking. Your values aren't just words on a poster. They're a functional, practical tool. They are your magnetic north, the thing that gives you clear direction when you're totally lost in the fog of all those day-to-day demands. And this connection, it works like this powerful chain reaction. It all starts with your core values. They quietly shape how you act, your behavior. Then, your behavior, in turn, drives your decisions, both the big ones and the small ones. And all of those decisions piling up day after day, that's what builds your organization's culture. It all flows from what you, the leader, fundamentally believe.
So really, it all just boils down to this simple truth. The most powerful thing you can do as a leader is often the quietest, just taking the time to reconnect with what truly matters to you. That simple act of reconnection is the engine that drives that entire chain of influence we just talked about.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get to the good stuff, the how. How do you actually chart this course and build the compass that aligns who you are with how you lead? Building this compass isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. It's a deliberate, ongoing process. We're going to break it down into 3 clear, actionable steps that you can use to find your own true north. All right, here's the framework. Step 1 is all about clarification. You've got to get ruthlessly honest about your non-negotiable personal values. And this means going way beyond words like integrity and asking yourself, what does that actually look like in a tough situation? What are, say, 3 to 5 principles you just won't compromise on? Step 2 is alignment. This is about finding the authentic overlap between your values and the organization's goals. It's not about forcing a fit, it's about finding where your personal why really energizes the company's what. And finally, step 3 is practice. This means consciously using these values as a filter for your decisions, especially when the pressure is on and it's hardest to do. This, my friends, is the daily work of leadership. Now, this whole process of clarifying, aligning, and practicing, it's not just some philosophical exercise. It actually forges something real. It creates a tangible, powerful tool you can use every single day to navigate your world. And this is the result of all that work. Your very own personal values compass. It's completely unique to you, a combination of your core beliefs and your professional mission. It's literally built to be a reliable guide for your entire leadership journey. So how does it actually work in practice? Well, you use it as a filter for all those tough decisions. It empowers you to navigate all that complexity with real confidence because you're grounded in what matters. It becomes the true source of your integrity. And the outcome isn't just a healthier organization, it's a more resilient and fulfilled leader. So we'll leave you with this final thought. The pressure, it's always going to be there. Challenges are pretty much inevitable. The only real question is, when that moment comes, when that pressure hits, what will your compass point to?